Wise no one enters your life by chance. Hello and welcome to Zen Buddhism Wisdom. Today we're diving into a fascinating truth. No one enters your life by chance. Have you ever met someone and felt an instant eerie connection, as if you've known them forever? Or maybe you've encountered a person who constantly tests your patience, challenging you in ways you never expected. According to Buddhist wisdom, these relationships are not coincidences. Every single person who crosses your path, whether a friend, a stranger, or even someone who brings you pain, has a deeper purpose in your journey. They are karmic mirrors, revealing lessons, unresolved patterns, and opportunities for spiritual growth. In this video, we'll explore the hidden forces shaping your relationships, how karma influences who enters your life, and how even the most difficult interactions can lead to enlightenment. By the end, you'll never see your connections the same way again. Are you ready to uncover the invisible threads that bind us all? Let's begin. The invisible threads that connect us. Life is not a collection of isolated events, but a vast, intricate web of interconnected moments. From the Buddhist perspective, every relationship, whether brief or lifelong, forms part of a greater cosmic pattern. This is not mere coincidence, but the result of dependent origination, paticca, samappada, a fundamental teaching that explains how everything in existence arises due to specific causes and conditions. Nothing happens in isolation. Every meeting, every encounter, every fleeting interaction is like a thread woven into the fabric of our existence, contributing to the unfolding of our karmic path. Consider the teacher who unexpectedly inspired you, the friend who showed up at just the right moment, or even the stranger whose simple act of kindness lifted your spirits. None of these interactions are random. They are manifestations of deeper karmic forces at play, guiding us toward self-awareness, growth, and understanding. Every relationship, whether pleasant or painful, is an opportunity, an invitation to look deeper into ourselves and the nature of reality. A beautiful metaphor, often used in Buddhist teachings, is that of Indra's net, an infinite web of interconnected jewels. Each jewel reflects every other jewel, symbolizing the interdependent nature of all beings. This means that our relationships are not separate from us. They are mirrors, reflecting who we are, where we have been, and where we are going. If we view our connections through this lens, we begin to see that every person we encounter is in some way a teacher. Some teach us patience, others resilience. Some challenge us, forcing us to confront aspects of ourselves we would rather ignore. And some simply walk beside us, offering companionship and warmth. Along the journey, the question is not whether these encounters are meaningful, but rather, are we paying attention to the lessons they bring? Karma, the architect of our relationships. Karma is often misunderstood as a system of rewards and punishments, but in reality, it is simply the law of cause and effect. Every thought, word, and action we produce leaves an imprint, one that inevitably shapes our future experiences, including our relationships. The people who come into our lives are not random, they are deeply intertwined with our past actions. both in this life and beyond. Imagine two individuals who keep encountering dishonest people in their lives. One person blames the world, growing bitter and distrustful, seeing themselves as a perpetual victim. The other pauses and reflects. Why do I keep encountering deception? Is there something within me that attracts this pattern? Have I, in some way, contributed to this experience? This moment of self-inquiry transforms suffering into wisdom, and karma, rather than being a force of punishment, becomes a teacher guiding us toward greater awareness. A well-known Buddhist parable tells of a businessman who was repeatedly deceived by those he trusted. Frustrated and exhausted, he sought guidance from a monk. The monk listened carefully and then said, "This is not a punishment, but a reflection of past seeds you have sown. Perhaps in previous lifetimes, you deceived others. Now you have the chance to break the cycle, not by becoming bitter, but by cultivating truthfulness and awareness in all your dealings." The businessman, rather than seeing himself as a victim, began practicing honesty with greater devotion. Over time, the pattern of deception in his life faded, replaced by trustworthy relationships. This shift in perception, from seeing relationships as random to recognizing them as karmic reflections, empowers us. It moves us away from blame and victimhood towards self-awareness and transformation. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Some relationships are unmistakably karmic in nature. Have you ever met someone and felt an immediate, inexplicable connection, as if you had known them forever? Or, conversely, have you encountered someone who stirs intense emotions, anger, jealousy, or resentment, without clear reason? Buddhism teaches that such relationships are often echoes from the past, presenting us with unfinished lessons. Whether they bring joy or challenge, these relationships serve as spiritual catalysts, pushing us toward evolution. Even those who hurt us are not enemies in the absolute sense. From a Buddhist viewpoint, they are karmic actors, playing a role that, painful as it may be, is ultimately for our growth. The question is, will we engage with wisdom, or will we repeat old patterns? Painful relationships, teachers in disguise. Not all relationships are easy, and some bring deep pain. Yet Buddhism teaches that suffering itself is often the greatest teacher. If we look closely, the most challenging relationships in our lives often contain the most valuable lessons. Consider the lotus flower, one of the most revered symbols in Buddhism. It grows in muddy, stagnant water. It emerges as something pure and radiant. Similarly, our most difficult relationships are like that muddy water, unpleasant, messy, sometimes overwhelming, but they provide the very nutrients we need for growth. Without them, we might never develop true patience, compassion, or resilience. A Zen master once told his students, "A difficult person is like a rough stone. At first, they may cause you pain, but over time, they smooth out your edges, making you polished and strong." This means that the people who irritate or challenge us the most are often the ones who refine us, forcing us to cultivate virtues such as patience, forgiveness, and equanimity. Rather than running away from difficult relationships or reacting with anger. Buddhism encourages us to pause and ask, what lesson is this relationship teaching me? Is it teaching me to let go of control, to develop boundaries, to be more compassionate even in difficult situations? The great Tibetan master Shantideva even suggested that we should be grateful for our enemies, for they give us the opportunity to practice patience in ways that friends never could. This is a radical perspective, one that shifts us from seeing difficulty as misfortune to seeing it as an essential part of our spiritual path. Letting go, the art of impermanence. One of Buddhism's most fundamental teachings is impermanence, Anicca, the understanding that everything is in a state of constant change. This applies to our emotions, our circumstances, and, of course, our relationships. Nothing lasts forever. People come and go, and clinging to the idea that a relationship should remain unchanged only leads to suffering. Letting go does not mean we stop caring. It means we appreciate the present moment fully. Without demanding permanence, we allow relationships to take their natural course, honoring them for what they are, rather than forcing them into what we wish them to be. A well-known Zen story illustrates this perfectly. A monk once carried a woman across a river. Hours later, his young disciple, still troubled by the event, asked, "Why did you carry her? Monks should avoid contact with women." The elder monk replied, "I put her down at the riverbank. Why are you still carrying her? How often do we carry past relationships, resentments, or disappointments? Long after they have passed, true freedom comes when we release our attachments, not in indifference, but in understanding and love." Final thoughts. Every relationship is a gift. Every person who enters your life, whether for a fleeting moment or a lifetime, has a purpose. Some bring warmth and joy, while others bring challenges that push you to grow. But no matter their role, each connection is a piece of your spiritual journey, guiding you toward deeper self-awareness and wisdom. When we approach relationships with mindfulness, gratitude, and compassion, we stop seeing them as sources of suffering and start embracing them as opportunities for transformation. Even the most difficult people can be our greatest teachers, revealing aspects of ourselves we might never have noticed otherwise. So the next time you meet someone new or find yourself struggling in a relationship, pause and reflect. What lesson is this moment trying to teach me? This is the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more insightful content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.